the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor, online here with Tim, a.k.a. you know him, the Bald Man.
By the way, my middle name is William.
You really?
Yeah, you're like, dude, we've been friends for like 15, 20 years. Yeah, I mean, you're saying you're Joseph Robert Camo, right? I want to be Timothy William. That's my real name.
Well, you learn something new every day, and I really did not know that. So, William.
Yeah, it sounds super nerdy, right? Timothy William. Timothy William. That's
Timothy
my name.
William, come on over here. Absolutely.
I should be an accountant or something.
Something like that, yeah. So listen, today, Tim, we're doing comeback players that were hurt or players that didn't really perform last year. Are they going to come back to the form that they were, a form where they produced fantasy points? Are they coming back like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Are they going to be back?
I'll be back.
That's the question. And we got a list of players here. We're going to just have an open discussion. I want to do more open discussions, just talk football over this. Here's a list of this. I just want to talk more, have some fun. So comeback players, we're going to talk about it. But Tim, before we do, we're going to talk about manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLINE. Save yourself 20%. They've got amazing trimmers, ball wipes, and I'm actually wearing their underwear again today. It's actually really good. It doesn't, how typical underwear you wear it and it kind of bunches up in your crotch and you got to pick your wedge? Didn't have to pick my wedge once, literally. Manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLINE. Amazing products. Go treat yourself right now, guys. Manscaped.com, promo code SHOWERLINE. And of course, 16-round draft solution. This is the game changer, guys. People are learning more and more, Tim. You're not going to win your league off rankings. Rankings will not help you. And even when you're drafting, literally, like those are the ADP rankings. They come out like everywhere. It's kind of a standard, certain way of these players are ranked in magazines. It's kind of like an industry standard. We break the mold with video training, sleepers, breakouts, optimal players. Like last year, Jefferson, 8th round. He was ranked 59th amongst wide receivers. I told you guys in the 8th round, finished on top. Told you to avoid Michael Thomas. Decline a minute. Told you to avoid Lamar Jackson round 2. A lot of great advice here. I was wrong on one thing. Todd Gurley, I expected a little bit more out of him, but you can't be right on everything. But you're going to be light years ahead of the competition. 16 rounds at thefantasyfootballcounts.com or get it below. Tim.
Wait a minute. Aren't you the guy that told me to get David Johnson in the first?
Nah.
Didn't you say that?
Don't you hate that? Now, actually, let's talk about that. I always get that all the time. You told me this, and it's literally, last year, straight up, I told you David Johnson, 4th round. He was slated as a starter. He missed a few games, but Tim, I don't know if you know this, he actually outscored Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the guys that everybody was riding, the mainstream were riding him as a top 5-6 pick mid-first round. David Johnson outscored him, and he missed a few games. So,
dude, we talked about
so bad.
We talked about David Johnson so many times. How could people keep on saying that we said first round? Like, you're idiots. We said 4th to 5th round over and over and over. But yeah, I see that kind of crap all the time where people like just misquote you.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens. So listen, Tim, comeback players. I'm ready to dive into this. I want to start off with Saquon Barkley because, again, we got to talk about this guy. And people, I get this all the time. You hate Dalvin Cook, but you love Saquon Barkley. I'm all about, what's the flow? I'm about energy, right? So I feel that the energy and the positivity is leaning towards Saquon Barkley having a good year. He's had that 2018 year, good year. Didn't really finish the year after, but still finished top 10. Was down, the year after. This is the year where he has to succeed, make or break. They've got some receivers. This is going to be a comeback year in a strong way for Mr. Saquon Barkley.
Look at my face.
Why? What's wrong with you? What is the problem?
I got Bell's palsy. No, I don't know. I agree with people. Why do you have such a love affair with a certain guy and not so much with another guy? So you just said it. Saquon in 3 years had, like, rookie year was amazing. Not so good. Second year got injured, missed a couple games here and there. Third year, total wipeout pretty much. And you're still loving him.
Yeah.
Listen, I like Saquon, and I mean, he came in highly touted. He was amazing that rookie year. I want good things for him, but dude, he's on the Giants.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Well, this is a make or break year for not only him, but Daniel Jones as well. Tim, I'm telling you, man, it's like one of those things, like he is due. He's absolutely the talent. We know the talent is there. We know he's done it before. He's had a series of unfortunate circumstances. So now is the time he's due. This is the year. If this is it, after this year, I'm going to get off the Saquon train. But
so this year, if he's not good, if he misses a couple games, you're going to Dalvin Cook him?
Done. I'm Dalvin cooking him.
That's going to be our new phrase. Yeah.
Dalvin cooking him. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a comeback year in a strong way. Now, there is speculation that he's going to get weaned into things slowly, integrated. That could be a problem, but maybe by week 3, which is fine. Let him get worked in. We don't want to just throw him in a couple weeks. Let him get a couple reps, and then there's no one else that's going to take the volume away. It's going to be a comeback year for Saquon. They've got receivers, make or break year for Daniel Jones as well. This is the year.
Yeah, I'm just not thrilled with the team. So let's talk about the second guy, the guy I want to talk about, CMC. So this is a guy you love to hate. Oh, he should stop modeling, underwear in his free time, blah, blah, blah. So you bust his balls all the time.
Yeah.
I am 100% higher on CMC than I am Saquon.
Why?
Like I would take CMC over Saquon any day, as most ADPs show. So the ADPs are right in this case, I believe. I don't know, man. I mean, just you look at the whole overall scenario, the team, how much better he's done over the years. So he missed time last year. Yeah, it sucks. It happens to everybody. It happens to the best. But you look at the whole situation, and I still say CMC easily over Saquon.
But he's got a new quarterback. It's a new offense, different scheme. It's going to be different.
I don't care. He's that all-around player that gets used no matter what. So it will continue.
Same with Saquon, and he's the main guy there. Both these guys, a coin toss.
Yeah, but I'm saying the whole situation in Carolina is just better.
I don't know if I don't agree with that, but we'll see. I mean, Darnold, Daniel Jones, it's it's like, we're not talking about superstars here.
That's what I like about this, man. We don't agree on some guys, and we have to duke it out. We have to put our best foot forward, and that's all there is to it. I just like the whole scenario. Oh, so let me look. I did look at strength of schedule and crap like that too, and believe it or not, actually, both of these guys have a relatively easy schedule, so that could play into it as well. I mean, I'm hoping the best for Saquon. I want him to come back and to be a star. He has to do it this year, man, or else, his name just has to really drop down.
Yeah, I mean,
I still think he's taken way too high right now. Like, he's still taken in that top 5 pick, and I'd like to see him go a little later in the first at least, but it is what it is.
Both these guys due for a comeback year, and I think they both come back, obviously. I mean, they were hurt. They could only perform better, but are they going to perform to their pinnacle year? I'm going to say yes for Saquon. CMC, I don't think he's going to perform up to his pinnacle year. I think
I'm the opposite. I'm going to say no for Saquon. He's not going to perform up to the pinnacle year. He's not going to get those numbers again. CMC is going to put up relative CMC numbers. I'm not saying it's going to be a pinnacle year or it's going to be a good year.
I call bullshit on what you just said. I think the ceiling is higher on Saquon. I really feel the ceiling is higher. Man. He is due. Anyway, let's move on to another comeback player. The ceiling is higher for Saquon. Move on. I got the last word.
Let's go to Michael. Yeah, the last word was move on. Let's go to Michael Thomas.
Saquon. All right.
So Michael Thomas, man, I don't know. First of all, the question is who's quarterbacking?
So from what I was hearing today, actually, Taysom Hill took first team reps in practice, looked good, working on his deep ball, but apparently from what I hear, the weekend is rolling in and Jameis Winston is supposed to start, get first team reps. So it's going to be a question mark. That's going to be a problem. And the thing is, from what we're hearing, obviously Michael Thomas already banged up already and going to be missing a bunch of games at the beginning. I don't know exactly 3, 4, 5, 6 games. That's going to be a problem as well. So, this is what I hate. And we hate it we're going to talk about Dak Prescott in a second, but you got a player coming off injury and now it's training camp leading into the season. You're looking at fantasy draft and they're already injured. So hell no, I'm just going to avoid him. Mind you, this guy could tear it up near the end of the season because no one else is there. We got Traequan Smith, they got Kamara. I think they just brought on Devontae Freeman, free agent. Not really concerned about him, but again, like I said, injured, coming off injury. Last thing we want to hear about is injury when you're coming off injury.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that snowball effect to just keep on rolling. Oh, he's got this nagging injury now and another injury. Here's a couple games missed. Here's a few more games missed.
Right.
To me, a big factor here is going to be the quarterback. He has obviously gone way down the ladder in the ADP. He's sitting currently around 30, 32.
Yeah.
So he's down there, man. He's a late, early third, mid third. I mean, he's still, for that kind of price, he's still worthy of a grab, I'm sure, because if he can put it all together, if Jameis is the quarterback, Michael does well.
Well, that's the thing. You're going to get him at a discount because of what we're talking about here. And that's what you got to decide because, if you can, which there's a lot of wide receiver depth. So if you can get him round 4 or 5, if he slips, because he was typically coming off round 3, if he slips to round 4 and 5, now you're getting a guy with a ton of upside and a wide receiver 1 for immense value. So yeah, if you want to hold on to that could be special.
Yeah, that's the thing. For that kind of price, he's a worthy pickup for sure, and just hope that things work out right. So that leads right into the next guy, Jameis Winston. Once again, so, I mean, when he got traded, I was like, what? This guy puts up amazing fantasy numbers. Yeah, he throws a lot of interceptions. I mean, his TDs to interceptions are almost equal, which is horrible. But the guy throws a lot. He has the ability to run. He puts up great fantasy numbers no matter what. So I want him to be the starter, and if he is, boom, great year.
Couple problems here. Again, number one, new offense, new situation. If you have him as a quarterback, you got to worry about the interceptions. If you're in a league where, you're penalized for interceptions, he could be a problem. Obviously, he knows he's got to work on that. It's something he's been knocked off, knocked about for a long time since that bad season. But again, you've got Taysom Hill there, who is 100% going to be integrated. There's no doubt about it. And we saw him come in on a lot of downs with Drew Brees, red zone opportunity, stuff like that. That was with Drew Brees. You're replacing one of the best quarterbacks. You're bringing in somebody that shouldn't be there for Drew Brees. So I can only imagine this is going to be a weird season. This is really going to be a quarterback by committee. And I hate the scenario. I hated it with running backs. Now we're definitely going to hate it with quarterbacks. And for that reason alone, I'm going to stay away because it's going to be a committee.
I'm hoping it at least goes back to kind of what it was with Drew Brees, where Jameis still runs the offense for the majority of the time. They bring in Taysom for some trick plays and crap like that. If that happens, I'm okay. I think you'll still pick up Winston at a really good price, so I would be all over him.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like a QB battle now, and it's like if Winston goes back to his old ways, Taysom is working on that deep ball to potentially be the guy, which I wouldn't imagine him doing, but it's be interesting. I don't think so.
No. I mean, we saw him play some games last year, and it was nothing special. I would stay away from everything New Orleans if he's the starter, or even slated as almost a 50-50 ratio. Not down for that at all.
I got a comeback player from you. Not that he's coming back for much because he really didn't do anything spectacular, but Austin Eckler, man, coming off injury. And, when the games that he does play, he does relatively well. Again, years to why I'm not wowed. He does wow in certain games, especially in PPR, but hasn't finished a full season, never been a full season, full true workhorse running back, just not built for that. And we saw that last year as durability played a factor. I don't know, man. The Chargers are all in on this guy. I'm not really sold on him. Is he going to come back to the form of those games where he spiked, right? Had those big PPR games. Is he going to come back to that form and stay consistent through the season? That's the big question.
You know what's funny about Eckler is I think early last season when I was super high on him, you were saying he can't run the ball. He's not a runner. He's more just a scat back. He's more involved in the receiving, which you were right. However, if you look at the numbers when he ran the ball last year, he actually had a very good yards per carry. Maybe you can say, well, that's why he got injured, because he was running more and he was running harder and he was getting it done. So he was risking more. And look, he got injured. So, I mean, I still love this guy as a PPR machine. Injuries happen. The guy's solid. He's not a CMC body, but he is a built dude. He's ready to rock and roll. What's going to kill him and what has always killed him is a lack of touchdowns. For the amount of yards that this guy can put up, his touchdowns are like in the low single digits. No, sorry, I shouldn't say low. I should say mid. He's typically getting 6 to 8 in a year, and that's receiving and rushing. That's totally unacceptable. That's what kills his numbers. So I think he's still going to put up some great numbers in PPR, but it all depends on ADP too. Like I always say it, everybody's got the right price. If he goes at the right price, he's still a good grab. I believe he's 15th-ish right now.
Overall,
maybe a touch high. Yeah. Well, you only look at receivers. You got to talk overall ADP.
Overall. You're right. I always look at the per running back.
It has to be overall. You screw people up when you say he's going
No, I don't. I don't like, I just talk about where he's ranked amongst other running backs.
I hate that. I want to know overall. I want to know where he's going. So 15th, that tells me early second round, mid second round is pushing it.
No, I see him come off late first, early second, but either way.
No, that's way too high. That is way too high. Even that mid second's okay. I'm okay with that. I'd rather have late second.
But the fact that he's sitting in PPR rankings on the Sheeps is ahead of guys like Jonathan Taylor, ahead of guys like Najee Harris. I think Najee's going to tear it up. Ahead of guys like even David Montgomery's a value, sitting 18th amongst. Anyway, listen, David Montgomery's coming off in the third round. I think he's immense value for a guy who I think is going to eat Nagy. Not that I trust Nagy, the head coach there, but I think
I don't trust what any coach says about them because even Eckler, his coach is saying, yeah, we're going to use him more often, blah, blah, blah. Shut the F up. I don't care. It means nothing. It's all gameplay.
So, basically, is he going to come back and have a full season? Is he going to be the guy? I'm going to say, hell no.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him the full season. I'm not going to give him top numbers, but I'm going to still say I like Eckler. He's a later pickup for me this year. Yeah, let's move on, man. What do you? I already know what you're going to say. Ezekiel Elliott, baby. What's your thoughts? Give me the reasoning.
Okay, so here's the thing. The way that the coaching is there, McCarthy, all these guys have got good receivers, Cooper, Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. They're going to want to throw the ball a lot. Dak coming back, already showing, strain on his shoulder. That's, again, another guy. So let's just do 2 and 1 here. Let's do Dak and Zeke, right? Comeback players. I think they both come back in a strong way, but the fact that, already shoulder strain with Dak coming off a major injury. And again, do some players coming off, a major ankle or break, or you saw how severe that ankle, his leg was flopping around. Like, does a player come back to the form that he was? I mean, obviously they got the best, physical conditioning training. They've got, the best vitamins and minerals and supplements. Do they both come back? I'm going to say yes, and I think they come back in a strong way. But we need to see more rushing attempts from Zeke Elliott. 240-ish rushing attempts is not good enough. We need to see more. And I think part of that is maybe they held him back a little bit, knowing it was a crappy team last year, right? So I say they both come back in a strong way. And Zeke looking in the best shape of his life. If you watch, he was more of a stiff kind of runner, strong, power. Now he looks a little more fluid. I think he lost some weight, maybe gained some muscle. Who knows? All I know is that when I'm watching the tape, he looks more fluid. He doesn't look so rigid. He looks more versatile. Apparently, they're saying he's in the best shape of his life. So as long as he gets the attempts, it's got to be a top 3 running back. I like the upside.
I like Zeke a lot. I want him to do really well. I think he is going to do very well again this year. I don't think he's going to be that top 3 type guy anymore at all, ever. I think he is a top 8, and that's kind of where I think he's going to stay for the next few years. As far as Dak's a fairly consistent guy, man. So yes, the injuries are starting to compile a little bit here as he gets a little further in, but still, like, high 200s every season. That's what you should expect out of Dak. He's had a couple of really massive, 330s, something up in that range, but only a couple. So when you get Dak, expect a 280 season. Anything over and above is a bonus. So that's the way I look at it. I'm going to take him as a later quarterback. There's no way he's an early round quarterback to me because he's almost consistently in those high 200 ranges.
Well, if you want him, you got to pay. You got to pay a big price.
Yeah, I don't want him at that price. No.
So you're going to have to pay 4th round at least to get him, I would think.
Hell no. No. I will wait till later to pick up my quarterback.
When you can get Russell Wilson after him, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Ryan Tannehill, and other guys that are going to perform.
No way, man. Price is way too high.
I got one here for you, comeback year, and it's years to wow me. I'm not wowed, and is it finally after 4 years a comeback?
Are we talking about your twin?
Odell Beckham Jr. Did you guys see that video? I don't know if I could show you. I got to show YouTubers that.
I think everybody's right. It was really the smile is what did it. It's definitely not the face or anything.
Okay, hold on. Let me just show everybody. Can you see this? There it is. If you guys can see it here. Look at that. Yes, it's my twin, Odell. I don't know if you guys saw, but my face basically transitioned into Odell. Okay,
that's like night and day.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, one more look. There you go. Same person. All right, anyway. So Odell Beckham Jr., I mean, finally he's going at the right ADP. He's going in like the 5th round where he belongs. Again, let me recap. I sound like a broken record, but I don't care. The Sheeps, the mainstream, the magazines, the 4-letter networks all told you Odell Beckham 3 years in a row, 1st round. After he busted, they don't learn their lesson. He gets hurt every year. Then last year, he was actually 3rd round ADP. Now he's dropped down to like round 5 or something like that, which is where he belongs. And, come back to what? Come back to when he was with the Giants? No, I don't see it. And now they just paid, I think, what did he get? Nick Chubb just got that wasn't a huge contract. I think it was $20 million guaranteed, 4-year, $36 million, if I'm correct. Nick Chubb just signed that we're recording this on, when is it? 31st in the evening. So anyway, they're going to run the ball. they got Kareem Hunt. He can catch the ball in the backfield. They got Landry. They got other weapons. Is he going to come back to his form that he was when he was stud? No, never. No. So, but people are expecting that or something like that. By the way, 3-year, 36.6 million contract, 30 million guaranteed for Nick Chubb. So I want to stand corrected. 3-year, 36.6 million, 30 million guarantees. Not bad. The guy got the bag. Some people saying it's underpaid.
No, man, that's a good chunk of change. That's like 12 mil a year.
That's good.
Yeah, he's a running back by committee essentially. So he's getting some good coin to do what he does.
Yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt can
let's go back to Odell for a minute. You know what? And some of our earlier videos this year, I was saying mid-fifth was probably a decent price for him. Right. I'd be okay. I'm actually changing my tune a little. I want him even later than the 5th. Looking at his numbers and kind of weighing everything still, I mean, Cleveland's got a lot of weapons. They've got other guys that are just as capable and can put up big numbers. I want him in the 6th or 7th round. And if not, I'm not touching him.
I'm not either. I'm just not.
But
I'm just
6th or 7th, I'm okay with picking him up, depending on what the options are there. But I think 6th to 7th round is a decent spot for OBJ. He's never going to have that pinnacle year again. He's never going to kill it the way he did back early in his career.
Yeah, overrated completely. And people agree with me now. People thought I was crazy when I said it like 4 years ago. Now they're like, he's a little overrated.
Here's a tough one. I think you're all over this guy and maybe writing off the other person we'll talk about as we talk about him, but I'm not so good. I'm like 50-50. One of these guys is going to emerge a little more. So Cortland Sutton.
Right. This is
like one. Jerry Judy's there, man. Jerry Judy did well last year. And I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking you're always leaning to Sutton, that Sutton's going to be amazing. I don't think so. I think Judy is right there step in step with him, and one of them's going to emerge, but it's not going to be a huge emergence. It's not going to be one of them is the stud and one of them's kind of a dud. It's going to be a 60-40 at best.
Yeah, this is a tough one because you've got Noah Fant and then you've got Devontae Williams who catch the ball in the backfield. But the biggest problem is not so much these guys, because I think if they had like Matt Ryan, Big Ben throwing to them, they'd be really productive. It didn't matter. But because of the uncertainty with the quarterback, that's the issue. So Drew Locke, from what I was hearing in camp, so I try to keep my ear in and pay attention. Drew Locke not looking as consistent as of right now. I would think that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the starter. He's not a phenomenal quarterback. So you've got a problem here. I think he'll be relatively efficient. I think Sutton's going to be the guy, especially in the red zone. They've got other wide receivers like Hamler, other guys that aren't even worth talking about here. But again, I think they got a good running game with Javonte Williams. I think that, that's going to distract the defense a little bit. I'm not sold on Melvin Gordon. He's going to lose his job, in my opinion. So Sutton Judy, I still think Sutton is the better of the wide receivers, a little more experience. But again, he has to stay healthy. And I think he's going to be more of a touchdown guy. Maybe Judy's the yardage guy. But again, a lot of uncertainty because of the quarterback situation. But the good news is, Tim, you can get these guys for immense value. You can get them after like the 6th, 7th round. Everyone's sleeping on Sutton. A lot of people aren't going to be drafting, and if they do, they go Judy first. So value for both of these guys, but too much uncertainty with the quarterbacks, really.
Well, let's put it this way. Sutton's ADP right now is around 80, 82. So let's say 80 to 85. And Judy is much, much later at 113. Like, Are you friggin' kidding me? I would take Judy over Sutton any day, especially at that price.
And this is why I tell people, like, there's so much depth at wide receiver. Yes, they're not Calvin Ridley, or they're not Justin Jefferson, or they're not, DeAndre Hopkins. I get it. But if you load up on those running backs early, you stack a Sutton, you stack a Michael Pittman, you get all these theoretical wide receiver ones. Elijah Moore, a rookie for the Jets. I saw him catch an amazing pass today. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's with Jared Goff there in Detroit. He's looking good in camp. So you stack a bunch of these guys, and you're going to guarantee yourself one or two wide receiver ones there, and you've still got those running back ones early without sacrificing. But I did a mock draft actually today, 0 RB, right? So I went, I think I went Diggs, Ridley. I don't know who my 3rd round was. I didn't go running back to like the 5th round, and there was no one to choose. Like there was like Melvin Gordon there or someone like that. You got to get those running backs early. Tons of depth, man. Tons of depth.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time, and I screwed around with it last year. I went running back, wide receiver, and it killed me. It just killed me. Once my running back went down, I was dead.
Yeah, and the stupid reason is because I've heard that people, the Concheapses and some of these analysts say, well, you got to go zero RB, load up on wide receivers early. Why? Because running backs get hurt early, right? They're not durable. That's why you get early. That's why you go robust, because you need that depth, right? Because they go
And you
down.
need the top guys early, or else you're just going to pick up the junk.
Yeah, guys that could break out. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? So anyway,
Let's move into a beauty, a guy that I've always loved, who's now gone to a new team. Definitely not as good a team. So let's say Julio.
So here's the thing, and I got to explain this. Yes, he's older. Yes, it's a new offense. Yes, AJ Brown has the rapport with Brian Tannehill. This is a huge debate that's going on. My question is the volume going to be there? Now, understand, these guys are playing to win. They've got Henry. They've brought in Julio. They're contenders. Last year, they made a decent run right near the end of the season, playoffs. They made a run. So this year, these guys are contending. So they're going to use Julio. He's there. He's going to be used. Now, the question is, Ryan Tannehill was 18th in pass attempts, okay? Is there going to be enough volume to feed both of these guys to make them top 10? Understanding that AJ Brown peaked at 106 targets last year without Julio there, and their run-first team with Derrick Henry maxing out at 378 attempts. So mathematically, let's say it goes down to 320 attempts, and they throw more. It's still distribution to both Julio and AJ Brown. The only debate you have for AJ Brown to be a top 7 receiver, which is where he's ranked on the Concheap's rankings, the only debate you have is the fact that he is young. He's got, the rapport with Tannehill, and Julio draws a double coverage, and it's going to be AJ Brown all day. That's your kind of argument. So I think the argument of not enough targets outweighs that.
This is a run team, man. You got Derrick Henry. You're going to feed him the ball. Like, it doesn't matter. I love Julio. Julio's always great for yardage, not so great for touchdowns. AJ, I don't care. It's Tennessee. It's the Henry show. Julio's numbers are going to suffer this year. AJ Brown's numbers are going to suffer this year because Julio's there. This is the Henry show, and that's it.
And not only that, if you're just outside the 5, inside the 5, it's going to be handed off to Derrick Henry to smash it in. So that's a lot of opportunity gone right there instead of throwing the short passes for touchdowns. So they're going to lose a lot of touchdowns with Henry there as the workhorse running back. Now, if Henry gets hurt, God forbid, I mean, he's due as well. You know what I mean? Like, he's almost had these two or three pinnacle seasons.
Knock, knock.
If he goes down, now we can talk. Now we can say they're going to throw it more. AJ Brown eats, but if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a different story.
Totally different scenario if that does happen. Let's hope it doesn't. But I mean, both of these guys will do well if it does. I don't even want to think about it. I mean, when you were high on Henry, I was not high on him. Now I see it. He's there. He's solid. The guy's a beast. Don't wish him anything other than good.
You know what's ironic and funny? People thought I was crazy. Before Derrick Henry had that major breakout year, he was turning it up near the end of the season before. So I don't know what year this was, 2018 or 2019, he started turning it up. Before they realized Derrick Henry was Derrick Henry a couple of years ago, the Concheapses actually had Damien Williams, believe it or not, ranked ahead of Derrick Henry. Can you believe that? Damien Williams. And I said, no, Henry's better. And they're like, you're crazy. Put that guy in a straitjacket. Well, I'm telling you again, man, there's a lot of guys that could break out. That's why I got to get the 16-round draft solution to crush your league's guys below. All right, because you see things before they happen. Now, one more thing, Tim. We have one more guy, right? How many guys?
I've got 2, so I don't know what you got. How about you fire off? Who you got?
Joe Mixon.
Yeah, okay. I mean, so I guess he's somebody we've talked about a little bit. So I said comeback? Question mark, question mark, question mark. What do you mean comeback? This guy's never had a monster year. He's a steady running back 3. Who gives a shit?
Everybody's riding his dick, and that's the thing. 2018 was his pinnacle season. I keep saying it again, another broken record, 243 fantasy points, 8 touchdowns, just over 1,000. Woo! And top 10 last year in the consensus rankings, right? He busted because he got hurt. Oh, because you got hurt, Joe. And now he's like number 10 or 11 again. Like, I think he's like 11 or 12. Well, he's top 12. Here's the deal. Finally, they've got Burrow, who I think could be a franchise guy. He's good. They finally got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the outside. It looks like a good offense this year, and there's no competition behind him. So that's kind of the reason why people are high on him, and I kind of get it, but it's Joe Mixon. I mean, he can't stay healthy. He hasn't wowed. His pinnacle year wasn't phenomenal. I mean, they did draft that guy. What's his name? no, what's his name? I can't think of it. Chris Evans, I think it is. Again, I'm not sold on any running back from the Bengals right now. I'm not.
I'm not wowed.
What's that? You cut off there. Years to why we're not wowed?
Yeah, he's the typical. Yeah, years to wow me. I'm not wowed. He is a steady running back 3. That's all he is.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And they drafted Chris Evans. Where was he drafted? 6th round. So I'm not really thinking he's a threat. 23.
I mean, hey, weirder things have happened, right? But you never know. I mean, it doesn't matter who they draft, where they come in. Matt Ryan.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even trying to do that. Sorry, I'm looking at notes. And anyways, Joe Mixon, solid RB3. That's all he is. That's all he'll ever be. That's his spot. Accept it.
Yeah, he's just not that good. But people are going to spend a 2nd round pick on him. That's just the sad part of it. But again, because those running backs are scarce, they're going to just reach for him.
No, that's crazy. But anyways, so now I did give you my last guy, Matt Ryan. Once again, why are we calling this a comeback? I don't know. I mean, Matt Ryan is Mr. Consistent, like 280 points again. That's him. He's like 280 points every year with a couple of monsters. One thing is always healthy. 16 games pretty much every year of his career, except for one. I think he played 14.
Yeah. Consistent as they come.
Yeah, but why are we calling it a comeback? He's a consistent 280 to 300. That's what I want out of him. That's what I expect out of him. That's what you get. There's no comeback. That's just him.
Tell you why he's a comeback, because every year he's kind of topsy-turvy, right? He has one good big year, and then he has one bad year. So last year he had a bit of a down year, finished, I believe, 12th amongst quarterbacks. Now he's ranked like 14th on the consensus rankings, but he always comes back, has those big years, finishes like top 5, and the year after the consensus are riding his dick. So this is that year he could finish top 3, top 5 again, and then just going to ride him again last year. So, hey, I'm going to get him for value. And here's the thing. They're all over Calvin Ridley, and I like him. Kyle Pitts, another great target. I love Calvin Ridley. He's a top 3 receiver, top 4. I get him in the early 2nd round, mid-2nd round. I love Calvin Ridley, but you rank Matt Ryan low, he's going to come back. He's going to be a top 5 quarterback this year if everything goes well.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Like I say, I love Matt Ryan. I've loved him for years. But to me, he is just a steady guy, 280 to 300. Every now and then throws in a monster. It all depends on the number of touchdowns he throws. That's really the only thing that ever makes the difference. This year could be a year where he gets those extra touchdowns and puts him in the 300-plus range. So I'm all for Matt. I just don't know why we're really calling him a comeback. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy.
Come back to top 10 because he was out of it last year. So
yeah, whatever. Just barely out.
All right, those are your comeback players. Some are going to come back, some are not. Some are really coming back from mediocre years. Either way, they're coming back to something.
Some are going to stay at mediocrity.
Absolutely, guys. So get the 16-round draft solution at thefantasyfootballaccounts.com. Head over there right now. Of course, manscaped.com. Use promo code ShowerLion. Save yourself 20%. Get some underwear. Get some trimmers. You'll be set. Tim, thanks for being here as per usual. Appreciate you. And guys, thumbs up, subscribe. And the season's almost here.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby. We are starting preseason games soon.
We're out, guys. Enjoy football. Get ready, get hyped, and get ready for your draft. 16 rounds. I'm out.
We're out.